Hi. How are you? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. It's Wednesday afternoon here in New York. It's raining cats and dogs, as they say. And I want to talk to you about something very disturbing that I have been noticing in not just the industry of coaching and consulting, but overall the service providing industry. I know it's a very large area to cover, but it really comes down to one thing, and it's that reality check. It's interesting when you look around and when you follow different people, when you read different stories, when you read different responses and experiences of working with their mentors and coaches and consultants and really getting their hopes up to really create the lifestyle, to reach that XY amount of money that they are chasing, to be able to do whatever that they desire. And they laid all their hopes and all their dreams into that one person. Many of them completely emptied their bank accounts to get there. Many of them put their marriages on the line, their health on the line, to push themselves beyond any reasonable limits to really accomplish what they were seeking, only to find themselves not just burnt, but burnt out and disappointed and still light years away from the goals. Or on the other hand, we have the group who is doing extremely well, who on paper they have everything and then some, but they still feel that disconnect. They still feel that they're not showing in a way that they really feel. That they still have to filter what they're saying. That they still have to filter what they're allowing themselves to express and what they are allowing themselves to do and who they allow themselves to bring into their lives. So it's really those discrepancies. And what those two have really in common is that reality check, because there are two worlds. There is one world where you are allowed to dream, and your journal, the page of your journal, they support every single vision, every single idea, and you can go beyond everything you have ever thought possibly could happen for you. And then there's the other world. There's the world of your reality. There's a world where you might wake up in the morning feeling a pit in your stomach. There's the world when you might collapse at your chair at the end of the day thinking, oh, I have 10 people supporting me, but everything is on my shoulders. Like tomorrow, everything could end. There's the reality when you lie in bed in the evening and you just feel that there's the connection missing between you and your spouse. There's the reality when you want to sit down for dinner and you make a comment to your kid and your kid just snarks something back and drops the fork and gets up and leaves, and you're just sitting there like, if only, right? If only, if only that, if only it can bear anything, if only it can mean anything. But what it really comes down to, whether is that 8, 7, 6, whatever figures in your account, whether it's more quality time, whether it's more connection, whether it's more sizzle, matter whether it's more love, whether it's more vacations, whatever it is, whether it's taking more trips, your reality and your dreams and desires, there's a disconnect, and only you can bridge that gap. Now, here's the tricky thing. If you have been mentored by those that you aspire to be like, aspire to succeed like they have succeeded, and who seem to be light years ahead of you, meaning that they might already have that 7, 8, 10 figures in their bank accounts, whatever, teams of 5, 10, 50, 30, whatever the number is, their reality and their connection to what your reality looks like is really different. And they have been in this process of personal development and business development for a lot longer. They're processing things at a whole different level than you might be processing them. So here's what happens. And I'm not saying this from a space, I want to stress this out. I'm not saying this from a space of holding grudge against anybody or having been burnt myself. Not at all. Not at all. First and foremost, I never consider myself as being burnt. It was always a lesson when you can choose what you get from it and you choose what you leave behind and let go. But what I want to create this space and start this conversation is to really give you an insight, give you that missing layer that helps you make more educated decisions, that allows you to take a different look, to have a different perception, to look at things from a different perspective, and to have different expectations for the relationship with your mentor that you might be entering, or the relationship that you currently are in, that you can be much more critical whether or not it is exactly what you signed up for. And that's a whole different conversation that we can have another time. But what I see and read and hear out there that is happening is when people are told, like, oh, and it's so funny coming from me being a high level mindset coach, but when people are told, oh, forget the strategy, it's all about the mindset. Fuck the strategy, it's all about the mindset, literal words that are being tossed around. And when you ask a question that requires a little bit more technical answer, and you're being told of just do what feels right, there is a real fine line between these two. So if you have been asked, for example, one of my favorite questions that is being asked out there is, let's say you had 7 or 8 or 10 or whatever figures on your bank account. Would you be doing XYZ? Let's say it's reaching out to new prospects personally. Maybe it's really worrying about certain bills that need to be paid. Whether maybe it's really double checking if you really want to buy something that you might really not need. Or a question of, let's say you're on a trip and it feels like paradise. It feels like this should be your new life, and you still have to return back to your old life after the end of the trip. And you're asked, like, if you had XYZ amount in your account, would you still be returning back home? And would you still be honoring the commitments that you have made to others? Would you still be keeping your promises that you had made? Those are two of my favorite questions. And a lot of times, it's really tempting to say, I wouldn't. I would not go back, or I would not put my name out there. It's beneath me to do the outreach. It's beneath me to get engaged in conversations. It's beneath me to worry about strategies and stuff like that. But this is exactly the reason why, if you are super honest with yourself, I mean, really brutally honest to the point that it hurts, if you do look around and if you do look at what your notes in your journal are saying, what your vision is, the as if life that you are trying so hard to live, and the reality of having those family dinners, having that passionless relationship, having that huge responsibility towards your team, having clients who are standing in a line to work with you, but they're not necessarily getting results to the point that they want to show up and sign up for more. There's a disconnect. I mean, you have the keys, like I said, to really unlock that and bridge the gap. And that really, really is the work that it truly takes. And it's the layer that no one talks about, because it goes either to the extreme of fuck strategies, fuck work, just leaving the flow and ease, right? And manifest everything, which a lot of people translate into just sitting in a corner, putting their feet up, singing Kumbaya and waiting for everything to happen. Or on the other hand, the other extreme is, oh my gosh, now I really need to get out there. I need to bust my ass off. I need to pull all-nighters. I need to call 4,000 people. I need to be on sales calls day in, day out. I need to cook organic food. I need to go shopping. I need to do all the arts and crafts with my kids. Whatever it is, right? You're pushing yourself beyond any limits that no human being was designed to even sustain. And of course, at the end of the road, it's either a burnout or a heart attack or anxiety attack or illness or whatever it is that brings you down to your knees. What is in between? It's that space that no one wants to talk about because it's not sexy, it's not juicy, it's not whatever it is that we all desire, right? But it is crucial layer. It's a crucial component to really get you from where you are and when you really desire and feel called to be. And it is the work. It is the mindset work. It is the work of setting new parameters and boundaries. It is the work of doing strategic planning. It is the work of actually showing up, to actually serving people, caring about people, to loving yourself, loving those around you, to actually doing the writing, doing the speaking, doing the outreach, right? If you have a message you know it's gonna change people's life, why would you not want to share it, right? Nuances, of course, depend on your business model and what is that exactly the lifestyle that you're trying to create, but that's a conversation for another time. The point is that the actual delivering the promised work, selling, marketing, um, beyond business, taking care for your body, taking care for your wellness, taking care for your family, connecting with your family, actually turning out the spark in your marriage, to actually taking the trip that you're dreaming about. That is the work that has to happen. And no matter how many manifestations books you're reading, no matter how many manifestation workshops you've been through, no matter how many mentors you have who are going to say, fuck strategy, listen, if you don't have a team that is specifically there to carry out the strategies behind your incredible ideas and vision, it is your job to be wearing that hat as well. If you don't have a team to do the nitty gritty work of the technical aspect behind the scenes of your business, it is your hat to wear until you get there. So just because in the life of one day when and the living as if I have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 figures on my account, or whatever that reality that you are dreaming about is, until that actually happens, it is your job to do whatever it takes to get there. And now, here is what I need you to listen to next. Again, whatever it takes does not mean burning out, does not mean working free, does not mean giving discounts, does not mean faking it, does not mean compromising your health. No. It means being yourself, truly, fully self-expressed self. It means staying in alignment. It means taking action that is congruent. It means creating a space where there's ease, flow, fulfillment, joy, all those fancy fuzzy words, right? That is the next step. But it is your responsibility to fill up that layer, to go through that layer, to do whatever it takes to make it happen, because no one is going to do it for you. And this is what really, really, really gets me, is that while we're talking about both extremes of the pendulum, right? The ease and flow and the hustle and grind. It is that swinging back and forth that ultimately gets you to where your space is, in the most natural state, the zone of genius state, where you can really show up and make an impact and serve and change the world, and really have this incredible life with your family, incredible relationship with your spouse, incredible experiences that you create, and all in between happens when you are comfortable with who you are. But to get to the point, you have to go through your zone of comfort. You have to go through the patterns that you keep repeating and living and reliving and pretty much spinning in circles. You need to dissolve the limits and the stories and bust through the fears. And that is the work that is not comfortable. That is the work that can feel as hustle and totally against the flow, because every single fiber, every single cell, every single code is being reprogrammed, right? But that is the work that is going to take you to get there. So, yes, journaling and envisioning and meditation are big components to it, but are not the answer to everything, especially when you do not have the backup system to have yourself in a space where you literally can only do just that. And I think that is that disconnect, that is that part, the layer that gets missed a lot of times, and you have people spinning and like, I just invested, I don't know, tens of thousands of dollars in working with somebody who already walked the path and has everything that I want to have, and they can't give me a certain answer. They can't figure out, where I am, yes, that's because they already are so far ahead of you, and they have a different support system, they have different goals, they have different ways of doing things, they have different priorities, they are in a different state of mind, they are in a different energetic field, they're in a different vibrational state, and that is perfectly okay. You just have to be aware of what is it you're asking of them, why are you asking of them, and then also you have what you need on the back end to really make it happen. And if you don't, like I said, you do whatever it takes to get it there. So if you find yourself in this message, in this experience, if you really want to be able to bridge the gap, to live the life of greater purpose, deeper meaning, higher calling, if you're ready to go from this amazing life on a paper to actually living it, whether that means, like I said, relationships with your kids or marriage or the specific figures on your bank account or a scoreboard and a scale, let me know. I am accepting a few, very few private one-on-one clients. You can definitely apply to absolutely free call with me. We're going to do the makeover. I'm going to help you personally map out every single element and every single level that you need to put in place. And if we are a fit, we'll figure out, what is the way for us to move forward, which one of the levels that I work with my clients is going to be the best fit to really get you the answers and support that you need at this moment, wherever that you are, and then where is it we're going. So send me a message, reach out, let me know, and I'll send you all the next steps. Take care, and thanks for joining me. Bye.